Now this 142.50, we cannot rule out a retest of this area depending on what happens with Euro US. If Euro US starts crashing lower towards the 115, 116 area, then we certainly do have a problem. Yeah, but again, and the equities, the pound is highly correlated to the equities. So depending what we get without those equities, in my opinion, we're going to get another push lower on those equities, and then this is going to reverse. Then we should see the British pound hold in above this 142, 143 area. So again, once we've done the analysis of what we would like to do, and that's for now, buy in a dip, 143.98, 145.77. So we're looking for a move to the 143.98 to begin the week, get into our buy positions. Our stops, however, in this case, should be below the 142.50, just to point that out, because again, we need to stay out of that market volatility, and you're better off to cut your positions in half and add to them on a dip than loading up at one price, because we are definitely going to see a volatile start to the week. Now, getting into the yen, we're going to have a quick look here while we're here and look at the yen futures contracts. We also review that. We talked about that last week, that I suggested that the yen futures contracts would give, the yen itself would give way, and that's exactly what happened. We fell aggressively on the yen futures. US Japan pushed higher, very good trade there. Again, if we're selling, the yen futures contracts, there's a considerable amount of profit that can be made here. Now, if again, looking at the yen futures contract, if we were to draw a line on this trade from last week's thing, I can draw a line right here, and then what I can do is put on a profit calculator just to look at what that trade would have made on again on selling the yen futures contract. So on 11 trading days, basically, that's a few more days than what we did. You're looking at probably about a $5,000 profit. So now, in order, you don't have to just sell the futures contracts. You can also buy US Japan. That in turn is selling the Japan currency. So it's a nice trade there. So let's go in and look at the Euro FX futures contracts. Now the yen, I still, just to go back and reiterate on that, I should touch base, is that everything here still points that the the yen future contracts are going to continue lower. Predicted true strength indicator from Vantage Point. The beauty that I love about this thing is that it's not picking up on the market noise. It's trying to weed out as much as it can and determine what the actual price is, what the price action is, stripping out these fundamental economic data that quite frankly is just market noise in most cases. So we're still pointing to a lower yen. That's the point that's being made here as analyzed by Vantage Point. Now, going into the Euro FX futures contracts, the same thing. We don't have any real sign of relief here other than the predicted true strength indicator from Vantage Point. It again is crossing over to the upside, warning that everything in this euro is becoming extremely oversold. However, the predicted MACD is crossing over to the downside, so again, we have a very mixed signal here. But for now, we've closed the week on these contracts at 119.66, the lowest close in many years, and again, the euro was the darling of the FX markets just 1 year ago, less than 1 year ago. And it's funny how, things changed this quick. So right now with the euro, we still see it under pressure, but this warning sign from this predicted true strength indicator suggests that any further weakness in the euro may be very limited. So I'll definitely be reviewing that in the trades going forward this week, and we'll be keeping a close eye on this. But again, for everybody listening to the news and all the other market analysts saying sell the euro, sell, be very cautious. This is a very one-sided trade right now, and whenever the market is so heavily one-sided, it screams for a huge corrective move, because stop loss hunters will certainly love it when the market gets this short on a currency. Now again, we're going to keep moving forward here, going into some of our other currency pairs in the market. The US Swiss franc, very interesting week here. Normally the US Swiss franc, just so everybody knows, is a cross pair. It's not a major pair. The US Swiss franc is made up of Euro US and Euro Swiss franc. Euro Swiss franc plummeted. As Euro US, normally when Euro US goes down, US Swiss franc goes up. It's as simple as that. Well, in this particular case this week, it was not. US Swiss franc could not budge and move higher because Euro Swiss franc was under such heavy selling pressure. So in actual fact, Euro US and US Swiss franc actually moved lower at the exact same time. It's a complete anomaly to see that happen. So right now we've closed the week at 116.24. We've got some key areas: 114.40, 115.48, and 115.76. My opinion is we're getting dangerously close to some sort of intervention by either the Swiss National Bank, the Eurozone, global world banks will come together, and something is going to happen here. So now, has the U.S. Swiss franc ever been at these levels? Well, it most certainly has. If we look at this and go back over the years, it has been at these levels before. So, it's not to say that it's not going to continue to move higher, but I question how much further it can actually move up. So, right now, the predicted true strength indicator from Vantage Point, again, it's giving a warning sign that this thing is heavily overbought. We've got a down signal, which is a downward crossover, which is a sell signal. If you can see, you're going to see a pattern through my presentation here that this predicted true strength indicator from Vantage Point essentially is picking up on pending or impending US dollar weakness. So we need to be very, very cautious of this, again, about getting into these one-sided positions. Now, looking at the US dollar Japanese yen, we have a clean buy signal. We've been buying this since last week. I recommended buying this at the beginning of last week off this 90 level. So again, if we just have a little bit of fun here, we look at the using the profit calculator here from Vantage Point. I always like this thing. So let's have a look from last Sunday to where we're at this week on the Forex contracts. We've booked 283 pips, $2,405. Very nice trade from last Sunday. We've got that's in 7 trading days. Again, you remember last week I based around the yen futures contracts, the equities, the US dollar, all those things I suggested